Hello, my name is Andrea Pervera, and my unit is on third grade fractions. My unit will be covering the four following topics, which are introducing fractions, comparing fractions, equivalent fractions, and ordering fractions. My unit focuses on the Common Core Standard 3.NF.A, which is developing the understanding of fractions. The following standards address knowing that a fraction is less than 1, knowing and understanding the concepts of a numerator and denominator, comparing fractions, understanding equivalent fractions, and being able to order fractions. Unit addresses 3 technology standards, which are creativity and innovation, digital citizenship, and technology and operations and concepts. There are 3 goals in this unit. The first one is students will understand the components of fractions. Number 2, students will be able to compare fractions and understand equivalent fractions. Number 3, students will be able to order fractions. After this unit, students will be able to create fractions in an interactive slide. They will be able to identify and explain the numerator and denominator in an interactive slide. They will be able to compare fractions in an online storybook. They will identify and explain equivalent fractions on a quick screen Castify video. They will order fractions from least to greatest, and they will produce a video summarizing the main concepts of the unit. For this unit, my students will each need a Chromebook with internet access. I will be addressing all intelligences by using these resources. For example, I will be using online fraction tiles for kinesthetic learners, Khan Academy for visual learners, and other resources. This unit will be 15 days long, and days 1 to 3 will be an introduction to fractions. Days 1 and 2 will be all about showing the class what fractions are and creating and understanding. Some apps that are going to be used those days are YouTube, Google Docs, Khan Academy, and online manipulatives. Kahoot will be used for checking for understanding. On day 3, students will do Project 1, which will be an interactive Google presentation using Google Slides. This project will be worth 6 points. Days 4 to 7 will be all about comparing fractions. On days 4 and 5, students will be using Google Docs, Seesaw, online manipulatives, Google Forms, and Kahoot to understand and practice comparing fractions. On day 6, I will be introducing Project 2 to my students, which will be creating an online storybook that compares at least 2 sets of fractions. Students will explore the site, brainstorm ideas, and if time allows, they will begin their project. On day 7, students will work on their project and will email them to the teacher. This project will also be worth 6 points. Days 8 to 10 will be focusing on equivalent fractions. On day 8, students will be learning and exploring equivalent fractions by using Seesaw, YouTube, and online manipulatives. On day 9, students will learn the algorithm for equivalent fractions, and students will have a small group discussion on Google Hangouts. After that, students will go on ABC Y'all and will create a picture using manipulatives and applying the algorithm. After that, students will take a screenshot of it. On day 10, students will use a screenshot and will use Screencastify to make a video explaining equivalent fractions. This project will also be worth 6 points. Days 11 and 12 will be focusing on ordering fractions. On these days, students will be using Google Docs, Forms, Slides, and a variety of online manipulatives to understand and practice ordering fractions. The last 3 days of the unit will be focusing on Project 4, which is a unit and wrap-up video. On day 13, the teacher will introduce the project and will introduce the sites they will be able to use, which are WeVideo and Magisto. On this day, students will create their small group, explore the sites, decide on a site, and will assign assignments to each member. On day 14, students will have the entire time frame to work on the video, and on day 15, students will have 10 minutes to finish up the video, share it on Seesaw, and will have the rest of the time to review and comment each video. Unlike the last projects, this project will be worth 10 points. This is what is needed in order to get all 10 points for the final project. And this is the end of my fractions unit. Thank you.